Today's episode sponsor is Indies United Publishing House. They have a short story contest running that's a great opportunity for both published and aspiring authors. Because this is a fun contest that you don't want to miss, I thought this would be an excellent thing to share with you. Stay tuned to hear more about the contest and how to enter. You'll find the direct link in the show notes.
Submit your short story and have it considered for cash prizes, awards, a publishing contract with Indies United, literary exposure, and more. For more information about the Small Bites Short Story Contest, visit indiesunited.net.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Tamara. Today we are discussing our December Buddy Read title. If you would like to see this in video format, head on over to Patreon. Check out this episode ad-free, as well as other past podcast episodes in video format, as well as after shows, reading vlogs, and other exclusive content. Don't forget, you can also join me and my two co-hosts over on the Book Clubs app for even more book chat. Please subscribe and like the podcast wherever you're listening. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me pretty much everywhere at Shelf Addiction. Joining me today is featured co-host Classy from The Bookish Virtual Assistant. Welcome back, Classy.
Hey, Tamara. Happy December.
Happy December to you. Yay! All right, so before we get started, don't forget to tell everyone where they can find you online.
You can find me on X at The Bookish Virtual Assistant, I believe. Yes.
Maybe.
Instagram, I know you can find me on The Bookish Virtual Assistant, and on X it's Classy Green 1, and Facebook it's Classy Green. So, and The Bookish Virtual Assistant.
All righty.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we begin, of course, I'd like to remind you that as always with book chats, we talk full spoilers, so you have been warned. Today we are discussing the book The Coworker, written by Frida McFadden. The audiobook is narrated by Alison Krawczyk. Published August 29th, 2023 by Poison Pen Press and Hollywood Upstairs Press. 368 pages in paperback. The unabridged audio comes in at 8 hours and 12 minutes. Classy, would you kindly share the synopsis?
Yes. 2 women, an office filled with secrets, one terrible crime that can't be taken back. Dawn's shift is strange. At least everyone thinks so at Fixed, the nutritional supplement company where Dawn works as an accountant. She never says the right thing, she has no friends, and she is always at her desk at precisely 8:45 a.m. So when Dawn doesn't show up in the office one morning, her coworker Natalie Farrell, beautiful, popular, top sales rep 5 years running, is surprised. Then she receives an unsettling anonymous phone call that changes everything. It turns out Dawn wasn't just an awkward outsider. She was being targeted by someone close. And now Natalie is irrevocably tied to Dawn as she finds herself caught in a twisted game of cat and mouse that leaves her wondering, who's the real victim? But one thing is incredibly clear. Somebody hated Dawn Schiff enough to kill.
Okay.
It was a little deceiving, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so high level, as we do, when you first finished the audiobook, what did you think?
That this wasn't my favorite Frida, even though I've only read, this is my third, but I was just like, the characters really got on my damn nerve.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I was glad it was over, and they got on my nerve.
See,
every last one of them.
I kind of think, okay, let me tell you my first thoughts. I'm like, oh, I don't think they should have got a quasi happily ever after.
That too.
Like, huh? Like, this is what it would have been more satisfactory to me had one of those characters actually died. Had Dawn or Natalie actually died. I would have been like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or somebody served some type of justice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But instead, they kind of skip off into their, I know your secrets, you know mine, and we're going to act like we're friends.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. And I was like, and the police, and like the police fell for
I
that.
know. The dumb
But
story she told.
yeah. Yeah. It was a very dumb story.
All of that in the ending was such a letdown. So that was my high level thought. But kind of digging into it a little bit, I feel like I knew that both characters were unreliable pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
They seem like two completely different variations of the opposite of what the person is saying.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you were listening, you'd be like, but wait a
Yeah.
minute. That's not the way um, Dawn describes Natalie. And then Natalie, yeah. And then all of a sudden, it kind of shifts into another POV where Natalie is a mean bitch. And I was like, when did that one come in?
See, I think so all the stuff that was happening at work, I feel like because some of the coworkers said she was bullied by her, so I think some of the comments were real, but I think some
Mhm.
of it was exaggerated when Dawn was writing her fake letters trying to set her up.
Yes. Yeah.
So yes, she might have threw your cupcakes away, but she might not have blocked you from coming in the room. You know what I mean? So some of it was right, probably, and
Right.
some of it was
Right.
exaggerated.
Yeah. And I think she even mentioned that at the end when she was saying her perfect alibi was those emails to Mia and how, she basically set Natalie up for the fall. So but yeah, it was I did too. I realized that they were both unreliable because the stories were just so out there. At one point it was just like this perfect relationship. I'm here and she's so beautiful and I'm just like, and I realized that Frida is trying to make us, or not trying to make us, but this character Dawn is on the spectrum.
Yes, she must be.
Yeah, she is definitely on the spectrum. She fixates on turtles. She has no social skills.
She can't eat foods with different colors. Her
Yeah,
food has to be
monochromatic.
monochromatic food. That's a
Yes,
boring way to eat, but okay.
yeah, but yeah. So she clearly made us this character on the spectrum, and I got that. And I know we'll talk about the narrator later, and I will say that the narrator nailed that character with
Mhm.
the monochromatic, with the monotone, with the I could feel Dawn.
Mhm.
I could actually see her. I could actually, if I was sitting in an office with her and how she would just barge in and didn't care what nobody said, and yeah. But she did a great job with the characters and writing them. I will say that. Natalie was self-centered, beautiful, um, and I think she did a great job of making us believe that Dawn was on the spectrum, and here you had Natalie on a pedestal, basically.
Well, I also like to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying. She did a good job in the end making two things true about both characters.
Hmm.
So yes, Dawn really wanted vengeance, and yes, she was bullied, and yes, she had a hard time, but also she's a killer.
Oh, yes.
And then on the flip side with Natalie, yes, she was mean. Yeah, she's nasty, but she was trying to raise money, but she'll just skim a little off the top.
That threw me. That threw me at the end.
Yeah, so it's yeah, she's a bully when she was younger and she still has some of those tendencies, but
Hmm.
maybe she's not as bad as she used to be.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it seemed to like kind of come to the surface a little bit, and then she kind of taper it down like, I'm not that kid.
Mhm.
I'm not that teenager. I was a teenager. Even though her mother was like, well, you were mean.
She's like, why did you do it? She's like, what? I did it. She's like, why you lying to me, girl? I know you did. You
Remember what you
remember
did
what
last
you
summer
did?
in high school? That girl killed herself. Yeah, I was like, damn, ma.
That's some extreme stuff, though. Like, honestly, as I'm reading this, I'm like, kids are assholes. Kids are little assholes who sometimes grow up to be good people, but sometimes grow up to be adult assholes. So,
Yeah. And Natalie was an asshole, just in another on another level,
mhm,
like the skimming. You raise this money for your friend. We'll get on to that later. But then you're just like, but but to maintain my red Louis Vuittons or whatever the hell she was wearing, got to skip a little bit off the top every year for this fundraiser,
mhm.
and live in that fancy house in that neighborhood. So yeah, she still was an asshole, but just on another level.
Yeah, neither one of these people were good people. And I think that, while Dawn's motivations originally seemed, I guess, understandable, I feel like she
Hmm.
quickly went too far. Like, even Caleb's like, dude, that's my sister. And I'm telling you, enough is enough.
Yeah,
And she's, like you said, fixated. She can't let it go. She won't let it go.
no. But that's a characteristic of that type of person too.
Hmm.
And that was something that I kind of struggle with Caleb. I liked Caleb for him liking um Dawn, even though she was quite different. But I also was like, dude, don't you get it? Like, she's fixated because she has this disorder, or I won't even call it a disorder. Her brain functions, because it's not a disorder. Her brain functions totally different. She's what do they call it? She's neurodivergent.
Yes.
She's really, and there's no way that you can talk her down
Mhm.
from that.
So this is a side note, but it ties back to the book. Have you ever seen that show, The Good Doctor?
Yes.
This
Hmm.
reminds me, that relationship reminds me of the relationship of him and his wife
Yes.
on the show, except his wife is learning of how to deal with him, learning how to talk to him, learning how to, and Caleb has not learned anything, because from when we start to hear their history, they've kind of been dating and seeing each other and kind of fell into this relationship for a while. This is not
Yeah.
new. He should know how she is about things. He should know how to manage her a little better. He
Exactly.
doesn't
Those were
know.
key words, is
Yeah.
manage, because in that type of relationship, you got to pick up on cues,
Mhm. Because she won't, so
She
you need to.
none.
Yeah.
She has no idea, and like, dude, like when she said start a relationship with Natalie, you didn't realize
His alarm
that
should have been going off in his head. He should have been trying to explain to her, wait a minute, wait.
we could do this another
Right.
way.
Mhm.
Yeah, but because all of a sudden, she was just like, but why? If you really love me, you would just say no.
Mhm.
And he's just like, but yeah. So, and like you were saying, at first you would think it's because it was a new relationship, but it wasn't
Mhm.
a new relationship.
Right.
So that was a thing too that I had struggled with. And I was like, if you guys just, even though you knew each other from the past and you just started dating because he started working at the office, and all of a sudden you came up with this plan, okay, I can get it.
Mhm.
But you guys were dating for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And he still doesn't know her. Like, we find out that she killed someone and he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Poor
and
Caleb.
I caught on to that real quick when he kept saying, that's real
I
odd
know. I'm
that
like, you dummy.
somebody,
So, not only that, but her glasses were found next to the body. Did
yeah,
you forget? And even mentions it later. Oh, my replacement or my second pair of glasses.
my second tortoiseshell,
Like,
the cheaper ones or something. Yeah.
Caleb,
Yeah.
dude, come on now.
Hello.
He a little stuck on stupid. He missing some screws, and that's why she like him because she.
Girl, I do believe that
Mhm.
sometimes when you attract people at certain levels in your life,
Mhm.
and I know this is a story. I know it's just a story,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think they do have a little more in common than Frida may have delved into the pages because he was a super geeky tech guy,
Yeah,
so he might be too a little bit on there, just
not
not
as
as.
severe as her
It's,
probably.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed
Because
a
he
couple
wouldn't
things.
sleep with, and I mean, granted, he loved
Dawn.
Dawn. I know I'm keep getting them mixed up. I'm trying to get those, and they're two totally different names, but I'm still getting them mixed up. But he really did love Dawn and would not sleep with Natalie. But yeah, there were some little quirks about him as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I wonder if Natalie even. Well, I guess in retrospect, she did think about. Oh, well, we never slept together. Oh, there were signs. I should have known there was someone else because
Mm-hmm.
usually men are all over me. Basically.
Yeah. Like lickety
Yeah.
split.
I don't know.
Don't you want to come back to my place?
Eh,
Nah, that's fine. Think I better
that's
go
something to
home.
do.
Because at first I was like, maybe he's gay,
Mm,
but maybe he's just kind of like entertaining. No, you know what? No, I didn't think he was gay because he never kissed her.
mhm.
Probably. What did I think about him? There was something strange that I thought about him that. No, I think it might have just been that maybe he's just a nice guy who's just kind of trying to get to know her. It's rare,
That's what I
but
thought at first. I kind of thought, well, maybe he's just like the quote unquote nice guy, and she's trying to treat him like he's a good guy versus the boss that she was sleeping with. That kind of seems, and I gotta give Frida like some credit. She kind of flipped the script with the boss a little bit. Like he really seemed like a sleaze bucket on the
mhm.
onset, but
Yeah.
after she got arrested,
Yeah, he showed that he really did
yeah,
care about her.
hmm
So yeah, she did, and I did like too that she threw enough things at us to try and like who could it be? Who there were so many opportunities where it could have been other people besides the obvious, and I like that about it. I like that it was fast paced. Um, it was a quick listen.
I had done in 2 days.
Yeah, it wasn't like I had to do a lot of thinking and connect dots and this many characters and who said blah blah blah. It wasn't not a lot of thought was put
Mm-mm,
into listening to
mm-mm.
and not to say that's a horrible thing.
Right. Sometimes you just want easy.
Yeah, like I think this is probably the perfect book for somebody who want to get out of a reading slump. Um the TikTok that you sent me today, where the young lady was like, "This is a great starter for someone who's getting into mysteries and thrillers,"
Mhm.
because it's not a whole lot of depth in it.
No. Although she pulled a Gone Girl with this book. I
Oh,
was like, "Oh, she pulled a
I'm
Gone Girl."
surprised that nobody has said this in this description
Mhm.
of this book.
Yeah, because she did.
Yeah.
It was the Gone Girl. It was the classic Gone Girl, switch it up, like, but it was closer to the end of the book. It wasn't the middle, but, you're
Hmm.
like, "Oh, her ass ain't dead." She laughed.
And the
And the
letters and
letters.
and the emails.
Yes, the
Yes, like a
same
diary.
yeah, it's the same method, right? Method to the
Mhm.
madness.
Yeah.
Except for she was replying to her own emails. I'm like, "Lord have mercy."
Yeah, now that I thought at one point that Mia was just in her head and she really wasn't emailing of her and it turned out that, but I was just like, I don't think Mia's real, but I didn't think she was um using this as a plot to frame someone. I
Yeah.
just thought, like, she's in a room like, yeah, Mia, blah blah blah, but she's
I honestly took the interactions between Dawn and Mia at face value. I did. I was like, "Oh, I
ah.
guess she writing her friend that don't live here." And the girl but I did wonder why she's so chipper. The author would be like, "XO Mia." I'm like, what?
Right.
Like,
Right. And short. Her answers were so short.
yeah.
Like, here she just gave a damn dissertation,
Mhm.
and Mia was like, don't let her get away with it. XOXO, bye.
Like, what?
Just like, hold up. You my best friend?
Yeah.
Best friend. That's all you got to say?
All you got. Don't let her see you cry. Don't let her get away with it. See you later.
Bye.
I was like, whoa, what? So I
Yeah,
feel like I subconsciously knew something was off with it, but I didn't know what.
I was like, ain't no way. I just gave you my heart. I just poured everything out and I got 2 sentences. If that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why
So
are they emailing? They should be texting.
texting, but oh yeah, and see that should have been a clue in our, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, Frida, you got me there.
Mm-hmm.
You got me there. Mm-hmm.
That was
In
hilarious.
this day and age, yeah. Yeah, they barely text.
Mm-mm.
It was mostly emails. Well, at work I get it because that's what they do at work. But that first part of that book when she was sending those damn emails
Mhm.
about something important, Dawn Schiff, I was just like, if I
I know.
hear another
I
and Dawn Schiff, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm like, that is so weird. But again, it's one of those things. You're like, okay, well, this is just Dawn. She's gonna say, give me this formal ending every time. And I, I wonder if that's just how she writes, or was she like,
Or was that her signature email?
yeah.
And I said after a while, I was like, this reads totally different than listening.
Mm-hmm.
Because because it's reading like as if we were reading
Mm-hmm.
emails, but to have that narrator do it, it was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Because
done.
if I send an email, I have a signature at the bottom. Regards, Tamara. Regards,
Mm-hmm.
Tamara. Constantly,
Yep.
constantly. If you're gonna do that, but I don't know. Mia's was so laid back, like she's just replying, and then Dawn's like, very formal in the.
Very, very, yeah, because she was basically trying to give all the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Now that as you said, in retrospect, she was laying it all down. She was laying the bricks for a
And she
conviction.
just like, bless her heart. She's like, and I just want to be her friend. I don't know why she
I
doesn't like me, bitch.
know.
Like, honestly, it's really smart, but my God.
Girl, and that fixation on the
Mm-hmm.
turtles, and oh gosh.
Even
Mm-mm-mm.
having Caleb mess with her by putting the turtle back on her desk incessantly, like again and again and again. And Natalie's like, where's this turtle coming from? Oh, she was
Yeah,
very enraged.
yeah. And the one thing that I did like when the detective said, "Yeah, we traced that call back, but the call came from inside," and I was like, "Oh, dun dun
Mm-hmm.
dun." Then I was like, "Okay, I'm in now."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was in, but it was just like, "Okay, it's from the inside." So that was that, cast of characters because it's like, okay, so if Dawn is gone, that means it could be who was the one woman who just got married,
Oh, you
the other
thought it was the
coworker.
other coworker for a little bit?
No, I didn't
Okay.
think it was her, but I was just saying if the call came from inside,
Mm-hmm.
it could have been any of those coworkers. It could have been Caleb. It could have
Yeah.
been the other female salesperson. It could have been Natalie, or it could have been Seth.
For a minute, I almost thought it was Seth's ex-wife.
Wife.
But then I
Mm-hmm.
thought, you know what? That's a lot of damn work. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she was acting crazy for a minute, but she was just threatening you. She wasn't like it. I'm like, nah, I don't think it's her. So for a
Yeah.
millisecond, I thought maybe it was her, but I'm like, no, it seemed like,
She's not even worth her time
mm-mm.
because she didn't have anything to gain by
Right.
killing or kidnapping or whatever at the moment, Natalie. But again, it was a
Yeah,
possibility.
maybe she could have just wanted her to quit or something. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But she wouldn't have
Yeah.
known about the turtle. She wouldn't have known, so there were things that told us it wasn't the ex-wife.
Her.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. and right, and then the voice, and she's like, I know it was Dawn, and then she's like, but I'm not sure if it was Dawn. So at one point it was like, so somebody could have faked, a woman's voice,
Mm-hmm.
or they have all these recordings, technology nowadays. You can make anybody's voice. I mean, you think
Yeah.
about the scammers who call people AI.
Mm-hmm.
AI is
Yeah,
crazy
it could
now.
duplicate your voice and everything now. So,
Yeah, so yeah, she did do some nice little red herrings in
mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's see what else. So, um, I also so after Natalie was arrested, I'm like, wow, I knew she was gonna get arrested at that thing at her event. And the way Dawn was just like, let me watch it again and again and again. I'm like, okay, psycho, psycho.
And then had wanted to sleep. I don't know if they had sex or they was kissing. She's like, I want to watch. I was like,
she,
I was
she's
like,
like, do you
Ish,
want to
you
watch?
freak.
And he's like, I was there. I don't need to see it again.
I was like, Ash, she a freak. She's a psycho freak.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, there's that side that we didn't never,
Mm-hmm.
never see. Cause she was like, I'm a virgin.
She lied. She lied very well.
And she did a damn good job of lying.
Yeah, she lied very
Hmm.
well. I guess she was pulling from her youth when she didn't have a man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I did not expect that.
And she used them. So they were talking about her probably being a virgin. She probably gonna be first with a turtle or some shit. And she like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm gonna give you what you want.
Yeah, and she played the role
Mm-hmm.
to the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
They had no clue. They thought this little dumb, timid girl, yeah,
Nerdy
would never.
accountant.
But I knew something had. But at one point, like now that you say the accountant part, and when she found the discrepancies, then it got to the point where I was like, okay, it's got to be Seth or Natalie
Mm-hmm.
now, because Natalie was their top seller. Seth, then at that point, that's when we knew that Seth and Natalie were sleeping together.
Right.
And it was just like, oh, so maybe either he was skimming or she was skimming or he's covering for her,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah. So I was like, okay, so I know now
Mm-hmm.
it's between one of them who killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't
Didn't,
kill her,
but
but
could have. I
yeah,
don't know.
could have killed her. Yes. Oh,
Yeah. Were you surprised when it was revealed Caleb and Dawn were together? Were you shocked? Or were you kind of like,
was I was like, because when that happened, I won't say immediately, but the wheels in my little head started connecting the dots that I bet you this is Mia's brother,
yeah.
because there was no one possibly who would support her in that kind of way.
See, so this is when I figured out that Khalid was helping Dawn. I said, oh shit, that's Mia's brother. I knew it
Mhm.
instantly because I'm like, who else would do that? Who else would want
Mhm.
revenge? But I didn't expect them to be together. I thought they were just
Yeah.
mutual, you know.
Right. Yeah, when he came to see her, I thought he was just like checking in on
Yeah.
her. But then when they laid in the bed, I was like,
What?
oh.
Like what?
Because when she said he got in the bed, I was like, oh, maybe they just, because it's cold, they going,
No, girl.
like just,
Well,
like,
look,
no, they did.
I
Mm-mm.
am glad that the author saved us from that horrid sex scene because it would have been horrid. I feel like it would have been
Yeah, it would have been
uncomfortable.
very mechanical.
I would have felt uncomfortable for them. Like, I'm
Yeah, it
sorry.
would have been very mechanical.
Yeah.
It was not romantic. Um, and the narrator's voice when it was happening, it was no way that was a romantic scene, because she was just like, and then Caleb put his tongue in my mouth, or and I'm not quoting, but it was, it was very
It was
dry.
like,
It was,
oh,
and then he got in the bed and he moved the turtle, and he must love me because I sleep with all my turtles, and he gets in the bed.
like, girl, okay.
It was not romantic at
Mm-mm.
all, because I was just like, oh, okay,
You gonna
okay.
get in the bed with the stuffed turtle.
He even bought her turtles. Yeah.
He fed
So
into
that's
her
why another
crazy.
thing I was just like, I think he might be.
He a little, He's like, I'll go
Mhm.
along, whatever. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah, girl, it was not romantic at all, and the narrator did it perfect.
His proposal was kind of cute, though.
Yeah. This was a straight fade to black, y'all.
Yeah.
This was probably the best fade. And thank goodness.
Thank God. Because that would have been like, why did you do that to us? That's what I would have been like.
Yes. I was like, my eyes, my ears, my eyes, my ears. And not to say, it was just real weird.
Yeah.
That scene was extremely weird.
Dawn's shift is just too much. She is so, very rigid about everything. And
yeah. And she had already laid out to us what the bed looked like, what the room looked, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So all I saw in my head was this flat ass pillow in the small bed in this motel.
With a door to the outside. Oh, look, I'll stay in places if it got a door to the outside.
Girl, the sheets didn't match. Like the pillow was darker than the
Look, I'll be
pillowcase was
looking for
darker than the
bugs,
sheet.
okay? Where's the
And I was
bugs?
like, Caleb, you couldn't even put her in a
No.
good spot.
You couldn't take her to like the Hyatt or the Marriott.
But that
Marriott Courtyard. How about a courtyard? Can we get a courtyard?
But she said I think she made an excuse like it would have been too noticeable or something. Okay,
No, wouldn't. I would have been right up in that courtyard bed hotel room. I wouldn't have left.
I
but
was like, whatever.
Can I get me
If
some
that's
place
what
with
makes
white
you
sheets?
And that was the other thing. Like, dude, this bugs her.
Why would you do that to her?
That poor child was probably in there itching and scratching and.
Well, she was so obsessed with watching to see if Natalie got arrested. I guess she was temporarily preoccupied.
Yeah.
To,
to deal with to deal with the. She would look at it, but she said, "You know what? It's just a minor thing I have to accept, so Natalie can get what she deserves." Oof.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that bedroom scene, y'all.
With that,
hurry up, end the chapter.
Look, with that, let's take a break.
Yes.
We'll leave that for you to just think about while you listen to these commercials. Please check out the commercials by listening to those. You are supporting the podcast. Don't forget to hop on over to Amazon and check out the book review journal, and we'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by the Shelf Addiction merch store. Check out all the bookish t-shirts, notebooks, mugs, and more. Don't miss out on these original designs, perfect for any book nerd. Support the podcast and visit shelfaddiction.com/merch and pick up your next favorite bookish item. All right, we are back. Welcome back.
Yay.
What else? What else do you want to cover? Did you have any notes that you wrote down?
What did I write down about? No, not really. I mean, they both had really shitty moms. I did notice that. Like I said, this was just one of those quick reads where it wasn't like a whole lot to the plot. It's just one of those quick, fun, nothing to think about books. So I mean, I don't think I really had anything that kind of like just stuck out to me. Like you were saying, except for that ending, here you just killed someone, faked your own death, and
Well, she tried to say the hit on the head had her out here wandering around aimlessly and she had no clue. I guess that's the only way she could get out of getting in trouble with the police. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, we're spending these resources on looking for your ass. You're just
Mm,
walking around the streets for what? How many days? That didn't make
yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Because it was a nice amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
At least what, a week, if not more?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, no, there wasn't anything um like extensive that we could just go on and on about
Mm-mm.
with this one. That's just kind of the writer she is. And um I know a lot of people say, like to compare her and Kirsten Magdalene a lot. Um
Well,
but
my
I'm
experience with Kirsten, I feel like the drama level is way higher. Way higher on the drama scale. You wanna
man,
talk
and
about things that are out absurd.
yeah, and more of a plot. There's more of a because people are just like, no, you got to read Frida, Frida, and I'm just like, over Kirsten, and and we've read. This is my third Frida, and she's not bad, but I'm just like, Kirsten. I think, in my opinion,
She's
I'll take
better
Kirsten.
to me.
Yeah, I'll take Kirsten.
And,
Yeah.
I like the what was it? The Housemaid or whatever? But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wanted to read the second book, but I wasn't motivated to hurry up and
I
do it.
know. I haven't either. I wasn't inclined to like read it
Mhm.
immediately. Where with Kirsten stuff,
Next. What's next? What's next?
I got to find out what's going on.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. So I thought this comment on Goodreads was hilarious. So she says, Tabitha Post, 1 star, and she says, I dot dot dot. This is silly. First, this was done on audio. The narrator sounds like a robot no matter what speed. It's awful.
She,
But that's
sh
what I liked. I liked that because it was in Don's character. So I'm like, did Tabitha miss like the point of her doing
yeah,
that?
she did. She
She
did
didn't
because
sound
she
like
didn't
that
realize.
for the other character. So
No, she didn't. I mean, she totally did that. Natalie's character didn't sound like a robot, and
mm-mm,
neither did Caleb
mm-mm, not to
or
me.
Seth. None of them. It was strictly Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Francesca says this wasn't Frida's best. This one felt quite vanilla compared to her other books and other thrillers.
Hmm. Okay.
And this doesn't bother me, but next she says the main character wasn't likable, and honestly, neither were the supporting characters. And I'm okay with having not likable characters. That's
Yeah.
not a hang up for me personally.
Yeah, that's nothing for me to take a point off of a rating on because I feel like that sometimes that's the author's
Mm-hmm.
goal. So, yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. I'll say I don't like them, but I'm not going to say, that's going to be contingent upon how I rate the
Yeah.
book. Yeah. How bad did she make them unlikable?
Yeah.
Yeah. If she made
They
them
were
really
very
unlikable,
unlikable.
she's good.
Yeah.
She did good with her
Because
character
even in the
development.
beginning, when I was feeling like, dang, Donna's just getting it from left and right, I still didn't like her. I'm like, she's
No.
annoying. And
Yeah. Even though I knew she
mhm,
had this, she's on the spectrum, but it was still like, you grown.
mhm,
Somebody should have been told. There's some things that people will tell you, like, back up.
mhm,
You could take some cues. You don't get them all, but then you just like, oh, yeah,
mhm.
yeah. So,
Absolutely. So another comment, Christine says, at this point, I think she's focusing too much on the quantity, getting books out more frequently rather than the
mm,
quality.
'cause
Hmm.
she has a lot out.
She is pumping these things out.
Yeah, because her fan base is, I mean, they are eating these books up alive. If I'm not mistaken, she's every other month or so, she's on that top Amazon,
Mhm.
um, what is it, top selling, whatever, Amazon top seller or bestseller list. And you know what? And I'm not mad at her because if her audience is loving this, do it.
I feel like recently there was an article and a couple of TikToks and a couple of YouTube videos that I saw where people were comparing the current state of publishing to like fast fashion, and that
Ooh.
they are churning these books out so fast, the quality is poor, the
Yeah.
editing is poor. They
Oh, the editing is
they are not really
awful.
working on spectacular printing anymore. They are just
Yeah.
trying to get them out, turn them over, sell these books, continue.
Yeah. Yep. I think we even talked about that, especially with editing. There
Mhm.
was a few books, these last couple of books that we've read. In book club, we talked about, editor, like somebody didn't research this or went over this with a fine tooth comb. And we're not talking typos. We're talking about, basically if it's November in Illinois, I'll say, if it's November at 4 o'clock, it's dark
Mhm.
because of daylight savings time.
Mhm.
So, um, you know, but those little nuances that, some people would think nobody would notice, but you have those readers who are meticulous about certain things and will pick up on
Right.
those. And that was some things with her book where I felt like, there wasn't a whole lot of things that we had to pick up on because she was just kind of quick with it, nothing intense. I don't like her writing wasn't, up here.
But
Uh
that's why I kind of wanted to point out like some of the negative comments, because we aren't fangirls of anyone. We will really enjoy someone's book and be able to think critically if it's bad, if another one is bad. And we're
yeah.
talking about this being easy and like fast turn. And these people, they are not a part of the mass that are like, everything she does is great. 5 star, 5 star, 5 star. People are
Mhm.
thinking about them critically.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I liked her other stuff, but this.
Yeah, basically.
Mm,
I read The Housemaid and I read Never Lie or Never Tell a Lie or
mhm.
something. And Never Tell a Lie didn't meet Housemaids, but it beat this one in my opinion.
Okay.
So yeah, and I was looking for the young lady on the TikTok video to add that one, but I'm assuming she probably didn't read it at all because I was trying to see like where was she at on this level because from her ratings of the books I've read, I'm like right there kind of with her on the rating.
Okay.
So
One
yeah.
more for the road. One more comment for the road. Emma says, my IQ just dropped 37 points. Everything I learned about turtles in this book was without my consent. We did get a lot of facts on turtles.
Oh gosh, girl,
Yeah.
I was
I'm
amazed.
like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I
Girl,
didn't know
now I
that.
did crack up when she wrote the Etsy seller, and the Etsy seller
She's
wrote her
like,
back.
a,
Is this real?
she said, this is the wrong kind of turtle. I ordered a
This
land
flip
turtle
had
or something, and
flappers,
this is a
right?
sea
And
turtle.
yes, a land turtle. She wanted to yeah. And the Etsy seller wrote her back. Is this for real? Are you for real?
She
Are you
like,
kidding me?
woman, these came from China. It says turtles. I didn't make this.
Right? Oh, I was cracking up. That tickled me.
Like,
That
wow.
tickled me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, all right. So should we kind of talked about the narrator the whole time, but I like the narrator. You like the narrator?
I liked her. I think she did a great job with it, distinguishing every character. She did an excellent job.
Mhm.
I felt Dawn.
Mhm.
Dawn Schiff.
Yeah.
I could see her when I listened. I could see Natalie. She did a great job.
Yeah, I think she did. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to listen instead of read, because I might have been a little bit bored if I was reading it.
Yeah, I think so too. She added flavor to this book.
Mhm, she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else, or should we go ahead and rate the coworker?
I don't have anything else. Yep. I think we hit the high points.
We did.
In my opinion, we hit the high
I mean,
points.
because honestly, like you said, it's a very simple story. It's not like there's a whole bunch of things to delve into here. We covered, I think, all the major plot points.
Yeah.
So let's rate the thing. Let's rate it, shall we?
Okay. Yes, let's rate it.
Okay.
You'll maybe go first again.
Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I rated it a 3-star because it was fine. It was good. It was good. If someone says, "Tell me which Frida book to read," I won't say this one. So that's why it got the 3 slot. What about you?
I am exactly where you are. A 3. It was okay. It wasn't horrible. I had some good moments, but it's not something out of all the books that I have read of Frida. This one would be on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Housemaid would be top. It was fun. It wasn't horrible. I think, for the end of the year, just to do, it was okay.
Yes. Like 3 out of 5 is really good for us. That's a good rating for us. We don't consider that bad here.
Yeah.
And I think I would recommend this for someone who is trying to knock last couple books out the end of the year.
Oh,
grab it on audio, listen at 2x speed. I think I listened at 2x. I got it done really fast.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you're just trying to get some stuff in, or if you just need something to get you out of a slump real quick, or just something, pick this up.
Easy peasy.
Yep.
All right, so that was our final buddy read of 2023. Yes. I was hoping we
wish I had
what?
Flares and confetti and all that.
So honestly, I thought we would end on a high note, but we ended on a middle note, which is fine.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. Yeah. No. I was looking for something, I was like, come on, Frida, because everybody else, everybody was tussling about this. Ooh, this is a good one. I was like, okay, we read Housemaid. Let's try this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So up next, we are going to have, I think actually it's all going to be available. Yeah, it's going to be next week. So up next, you'll get our whole entire recap of 2023 and the 12 books we read here on the podcast. So you'll want to make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss all our thoughts. Yes, on our year-end wrap-up. And definitely you don't want to miss when we're back here in January, because I'll share with you now, we are reading Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll in January. And you want to be here for that. So subscribe, share with your other bookish friends. If you're into book club, join us on the Book Club's app. We'd love to have you. And I guess that's it. Anything else, Classy?
No, that's it.
All right, you guys.
It's been one.
Happy holidays. We'll talk to you soon. And if you don't hear us again this year, catch you in 2024. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys. If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction official Facebook group, where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.